gonna be good. We're gonna be cooking a little bit. All right, so this is that battle pass skin for Jaehyun as well. I think, is this maybe the level 2 of it? Yeah, where he has like part of his face covered a little bit. The wings aren't like fully actualized, but he's on his way there.
I'm not going to be able. I'm not gonna get over the fact that the game verdict is F. It looks so funny on the scoreboard, but I mean, potentially, small name for a lot of gameplay. We're gonna have to wait and see. So far, 28 seconds into the game, we have quite an even start here. Both players just kind of shaking out these initial neutral game interactions, trying to see whoever can build up a lead for themselves the first. Welfe able to pick up that side signature, throwing F a bit off screen.
And we can see Welfe, you know, that weapon has been there for a while. Now it in fact just despawned, but has opted to lean into the sword pretty much the entire time. That falling side air might be enough. Grab so side sig is going to be the punish on the recovery as well. And so really just great stuff all around. Get the first stock with the sword. When they're unarmed, switch to Greatsword. Greatsword does well in a hammer as well because you're able to outrange it pretty easily. And so really just doing a great job of playing to the win conditions that he set for himself here. F not quite able to find these openings.
Yeah, Welfe playing super well around that hammer so far, as you mentioned. F going off stage here, looking for the recovery, not able to pick it up, and the dare that was so close to being massive for Welfe. But it looks like maybe he doesn't even need it. I mean, he's still building up a ton of damage here. F is gonna have to turn up soon. Is going to be able to find that stock.
Yeah, a little bit of a self-destruct coming out on the side of Welfe there. Got a little bit scared, tried to fast fall with the side air, and then use the reverse recovery to get the wall touch, and just didn't quite space it out correctly. Could have done it, just needed to time the fast fall a little bit differently. But with that said, I mean, F answering back here. This is Teros. You know, you get your N lights, you get your D lights, you get your side light nairs. Like, the damage comes really quickly, even if you're just getting a stray hit here, a stray hit there. Those 3 stray hits that we just saw from F have gone ahead and turned this around. This is an even game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. Welfe able to get that quick knockout though with the N-Sig. I want to say evening it out because it felt like F really took control of the game there, but no, he is actually in the lead with that, and F is gonna have to try and find some of the magic that he just had with his axe. It looks like Welfe, he's getting a lot of free hits right now.
Ooh, okay. Can F close it out here? Tries to go for the ground pound in there. If you hold into the wall, you can kind of do it like that where you don't fall down. You kind of like slow as you're falling to keep covering that area. I think they call it like stalling or something like that, but did not quite work there.
Going to be picking up the Greatsword. Quick string to build up some of that extra damage, trying to get him to knockout range. Able to find that side signature, throwing him super far out. Grab the cancel move to instantly get the finisher, but it's not going to be connecting. Those D-lights, every single time, he does like he does a string over the side, and F just ends up being inside of it. And Welfe, with a string, able to close out that stock, starting this set with himself on top.
That was well played from Welfe there. Definitely caught F sleeping more than a few times by going for that side light into the D-light bridge over the corner of the stage. And then this time around was like, you're probably going to jump out of hit stun, and was able to read it with a Sayer. And so really well played. And that's the thing, is that like Greatsword, the opener isn't really gonna do much to anyone when they're trying to recover back onto the stage, right? If anything, it's more like a stagger to make them be like, ah, what are you doing? But people will see you whiff something and think, ah, I just saw the Greatsword player do a move. This is my opening to get back onto the stage, right? And that's where that downlight bridge go over the lip of the stage is able to catch you. And so really F needs to look out for that. And also, it would be cheeky, but Welfe could go for N-light, side light, D-light finisher, which spikes. You don't see it a whole lot because most people don't use it, but the Greatsword does have a finisher that spikes you if it catches you airborne.
I love this because you're a Greatsword player and I'm an Axe player, so we kind of get both sides of the both sides of the story here. Because if I'm the Teros player in all of these interactions, I mean, you see a player miss a move, you need these punishes. F needs to find every punish that he can to be able to rack up damage. He doesn't have that same level of momentum with his attacks. You get those punishes and they deal a ton of damage, and that's basically all you need to do. But Welfe consistently doing a good job at covering up for himself, using clever baits to be able to rack up this damage. So far, though, in this second game, the first stock is shaking out very, very evenly.
Okay, and just a downer from Welfe is going to be all that it takes to get that first stock, and deciding to stick with the sword, and I don't blame you. You've been able to get this lead with the sword this far, and also, sometimes when it comes to playing Greatsword, you just need the difference. You just need a little different mix added so people are unable to figure out your game plan. If you stick to one weapon too long, sometimes you end up in situations where people are able to adapt and your game plan kind of falls apart. Either way, though, I mean, that down sig from F, that was much needed.
Able to pick up that end light, trying to patrol the ground here. Welfe doing a really good job at staying out of range, sweeping in with that side light, which always has just a little bit more range than you think it does. Able to catch back up with a side light there, though, holding that ground pound. I mean, if you miss it in the first place, you're gonna keep holding it. At a certain point, you just gotta ride it out.
And honestly, Welfe almost got hit, had to kind of drift out of the way of the hitbox for a moment there. There we see it again, that stalled ground pound into the stage, holding you in that position, being the absolute reason why Welfe could not get back to the stage. And now we actually have a lead for F.
Time will tell how well he's going to be able to protect it. Doesn't look like he needs to start going for the weapon guarding instead. Very, very successful in doing so as well, getting Welfe all the way down to orange. F now looking for any kind of call-out option. I mean, he has a little bit of momentum under his belt, going out with the signatures. You're on Teros, you could very well, with 2 or 3 well-stringed together attacks, this could be very close to a knockout.
Welfe needs a D-Light recovery, and the moment I say it, it is granted. And now we have a final stock scenario. But F got great damage. Oh, be careful coming down here, though. Okay, cool. So we're in, like, Stomp Sayer will guaranteed send you off stage positioning, and then you can kind of go for some sort of edge guard. But it's going to be hard to beat Greatsword on the ground with Hammer. Keep it in the air. Juggle with these end lines. Stomp Sayer is going to be the name of the game, and F is able to win Game 2 over Welfe.
Going to be winning Game 2 indeed. I am curious as to seeing if Welfe is going to be going to a Legend swap. We mentioned it earlier. We were looking over at the picks that he has been playing as of late. We're seeing a lot of Sword. You have lots of different options there. I think he had the Val, he had the Jala, he had the Hatsuri. But we are moving into the next game, and it looks like Welfe, he puts a lot of trust into this Greatsword, man.
And I get it. It's a good weapon. I also put a lot of trust into the Greatsword. It won BCX. Clearly it can do it. You know, you could look at this as BCX Grand Finals. This is kind of versus U's right here. You know, it's the same matchup.
Same picks in a way. I mean, we got that established so far. Teros and Jaeyun in the top 8, becoming more and more popular all throughout. I do want to mention, I am amazed we have not seen Battle Boots yet. We have not seen a single Tesca, but perhaps that'll come later.
Yeah, maybe just not too popular there. I mean, granted, well, that's gonna be punished from down here.
Another one. Those don't work out, but he keeps going for them. Welfe has been able to punish both of the times that he's done that.
Oof. It's caught yet again with that D-Light bridge over the corner.
Swapping over to the sword. Going for yet another ground pound. Welfe this time around. F let go of it just in time to where he's able to move out. Not able to find that punish. Getting closer and closer to a knockout. You need a Sayer, you need a recovery, you need a D-Light, you need a something right now, and that is going to be done deal. You have the stage control. Keep it, stay patient, but F with a nice dodge back up, able to retake stage control, only to lose it moments after.
Let's see, gets the scoop with the reversal. D-like ground pound, doesn't line it up correctly. And that gives Welfe an opportunity to get back onto the stage, not only with the stock, but the chance to go for a D-like ground pound, or rather recovery of his own to go ahead and secure that one. And so, trailing behind by a little bit now, F has to find a stock.
Welfe is still working the magic of his Greatsword, which has been able to deal up damage so very well in the past, but F sticking to the true combos, the bread and butter, quick stomps here, doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. You're on the Teros, that's going to be able to knock out Welfe though. As soon as he spawns back onto the stage, he's able to deal out so much damage. F isn't able to find an opening. He does finally do so, and I mean, that's just so much damage, even out, they're basically even. Okay, I'll take that back.
Oof, yeah, and that one was tough. That one looked like it might have been unjumpable. Sometimes when you get that sidelight, D-light, sidelight finisher, a lot of the times it's jumpable, but right there it looked like he might have been too low. And man, was able to get that nair so high toward the top KO box that there was no shot that we were gonna see F come back from that one. Man, F needs to dodge on these down air D-light. Like that is not true by any means, but just getting caught unaware, because a lot of the time, oh, that might be the game. Gets caught on the jump. D-like ground pound could close it out here. Tries to actually just ground pound over the lip, but gets caught on the corner. Wow, what a read the down sig. You don't see that one every day. You can see Welfe is just trying to close this one out. And light
for the D-light now. F has been able to get back up on the stage in these scenarios before. Welfe is able to pick up on that first edge guard, allowing F to get back up onto the stage. He's able to find a couple of recoveries, but it could be too little too late. Another true combo. He has the axe in hand. Welfe, you're basically one attack away, and it's going to be the Seer, and it even it hits the funny angle, sending F straight down off of the Seer, and that is going to be yet another game going over to Welfe.
This one's interesting too, because, you know, it depends who you ask. I've always been a believer that Rocket Lance does really well in the Greatsword. I think it does extremely positively in the matchup, just as far as like it's a weapon that, you know, also does really well to control the ground, right? And it also just has faster frame data in terms of being able to stuff out a lot of the Greatsword's options. And that side air can be really hard to anti-air with the Greatsword. If you do like a side air that's a little bit above ground height, the Greatsword side light isn't going to reach it in that spot. But you know, it's still Greatsword. If you get caught, you're still getting blended, bro. Like, it doesn't matter what weapon you're using. Not enough.
Okay, able to pick up on that ground pound. So far, the neutral seems to be going a lot better for F as he's sticking to the plans. But Welfe perhaps will get adjusted to it. The side that's there isn't going to be enough to KO just yet. Swaps over to the axe. D-Sig whips, and Welfe with a beautiful punish, able to pick up that D-Light recovery. Just patrolling this ground. He's been finding these knockouts so consistently, and he's able to do so yet again as he finds himself an early lead here.
Yeah, and it's tough because F is getting beaten on the ground on these like left-right mix-ups that happen a lot when you're playing Brawlhalla, where you're trying to weave in and out of the no man's land zone, where it's like, if I'm stacked directly on top of you, do you know which side to throw your hitbox out on? If you guess incorrectly, you're gonna get punished. F hasn't been winning in that mini game.
Yeah, been losing a lot of the 50-50s against Welfe throughout this game so far and throughout the set. D-Sig stacked is going to be able to pick up that stock though. I think one of the major turning points, what would be the major turning point for F, is he's just able to find these knockouts, because Welfe, not only is he slightly better at that damage buildup, he finds those knockouts.
Let's see. Ooh, gets caught. Putting the head
guard
above the corner, yeah.
On both weapons, the edge guarding for Welfe is so strong.
The weapon throw. Force F to the corner here. Coming in with these recoveries as well. Throws the weapon, manages to pick up a sword. We're in D-Light recovery territory from a platform. I think it'll KO, but not from the ground. Oop, falls out of that one. Okay, here we go. A chance for F.
We're basically evened out now. To regain the composure was exactly what F needed. Did he finally manage to pull it off? Only time will tell. He misses that sidelight, and Welfe is going to be able to pick up that punish. swapping over. He's actually going to be sticking to the sword there. What do you think about that, Flambo? I would have expected him to swap over to the Greatsword.
You know, honestly, I think the sword has been doing well, and this time we have a tri-platform layout. I think that sword is a bit better here, just because of the fact that you do have those 3 platforms. It's easy to weevil across them, and especially if you're standing on a platform and you do a D-light and somebody jumps into you, you're gonna have that priority from using a grounded move, right? So that means it makes it a lot easier for you to kind of stuff your opponent coming in. And Welfe at this point, I don't think he cares. 3 D-light ground pounds, he's talking to him. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Oh, that's game.
For an opening, and that is going to be one string that's almost just barely enough to knock out. Is it going to happen? Oh, he's able to get that D-Light GC editing. So many times Welfe, every single time F has been on the corner, has been able to throw out one of those openings into the bridge, into the finisher, surprising F. This time around, it didn't throw it out, and thus F didn't get stuck in it either. He's so damaged.
Yeah, we need a Rocket Land stock right here. We need like side light, Sayer down there, Sayer down. You know, we gotta. But first, you gotta get a hit, and you're not gonna find one. D-Light recovery is the name of the game, as Welfe is able to go ahead and pack up F in that set with the Jayun and my hiccup.
Dude, those hiccups, they just refuse to go away. They've been here for like the past 20 minutes.
They're persisting, dude.
Dude, they're persistent. Sometimes